And welcome back, guys, to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. In the last part, we had fun drinking times with Willie and Hanako because Akira was totally not bringing wine to underage people. But, regardless, now we have, with our hangover, to deal with Shizune and Misha. Specifically Misha. It's probably not good with a hangover. Well, we're gonna find out. Narrowing my eyes, I can see the badly hidden grin spreading across her face. To Shizune? Shizune looks away quickly as she crosses her arms tightly, barely on the edge of her control. Misha's laughter doubles in volume as she glances at Shizune. All I can do is drag my hand down my face in resignation. You two.
Who was the one who slept in class, Hee-chan?
Yeah, it was me.
Poor Shizune.
Or Shi-chan, not poor Shizune.
Poor Shi-chan was having a fit trying to wake you up, weren't you?
I move my eyes back to the standoffish Shizune, who, with a single huff of confirmation, returns to look away with her arms crossed. Even though technically her hands are crossed, not her arms, but whatever. Why was Shizune trying to wake me up?
Shi-chan wants to give you the handouts the substitute teacher gave out while Hee-chan was sleeping.
Handouts? I suddenly find 2 sheets of paper thrust down in front of my face. Jesus, it's so close to my face, I can't read it. It's like blurred completely out. Looks like Shizune is the one that slammed into my face as well. Following the hand holding them, I see the still pouting figure looking down at me with a distinct scowl. I guess I really am in the wrong here. I'm sorry about that. No dice. Her irritated face still holds. I clasp my hands together and flick my head downwards in apology. Very, very sorry. She huffs and simply drops the papers on the desk. Damn. Look up over my hands to see Shizune and Misha signing frantically to each other, a look of frustration on Shizune's face. It looks to be less of a dialogue and more of a tirade, punctuated with sidelong glances at me. To say it's unsettling is an understatement. The two suddenly stop signing and look at me in unison, both having exactly the same look of disapproval. In one fluid motion, Misha's hand suddenly extends high above me and comes rocketing down. Before I can even hope to react, my head is sent bouncing up and down like a jack-in-the-box. She hit him! Holy crap, why? I quickly bring my hands to my head, more out of reflex than actual pain. Ow! What was that for? Open my eyes to see the two grinning at each other while exchanging an enthusiastic thumbs up.
Shi-chan says she forgives you now, Hee-chan.
Could you forgive me with a little less force next time?
Wah!
I look at the two with a blank face. Misha and Shizune, 1. Hisao, 0.
Oh, Shi-chan also says that you should check your student mail more often.
She produces a bright yellow envelope and hands it over with an exuberant grin. Strange. Who could have written me a letter? Now is not the time, and most definitely not the place to find out, though. Giving up on the nap so cruelly stolen from me, I rub my forehead and slowly get up, putting the sheets and envelope into my bag before swinging it over my shoulder. I take a step back and move to depart with a small bow, while Misha clutches her sides laughing and Shizune nods back in a curt farewell. They seem to be... See, the thing is now that, like, they're no longer shoving student council down my throat, they seem just like normal, nice people. I join the flow of students exiting the open door and turn the corner into the hallway, only to end up face to face with Hanako. Whoa, hey, Hanako.
Good afternoon, Hisao.
Silence falls between us as busily chatting students pass us by. She fidgets constantly, her eyes drawn to her rather unremarkable footwear. I take the bridge of my nose in my fingers while I blink my eyes heavily in an attempt to make things seem clearer. I'm barely staying awake as it is. Hanako, you want to say something? What is it?
I wanted to give you this.
Hmm? She holds out a small rectangular piece of paper. I blink again to make out the text through barely opened eyes, slowly starting to make out what's written. Eggs times 2, bread times 1, whole grain cereal times 1, time times 1. Shopping list? I look upwards, raising an eyebrow.
I usually go shopping with Lily, but I can't come, so...
You want me to run errands for you?
It's okay if you don't want to. I just thought that maybe,
She panics, I sigh. Yet another battle lost, though this time by a weakly fought surrender. I smile tiredly and rest a hand on her head to calm her. It's fine. I was going to go anyway. Just the stuff on this list? She nods, then bows deeply twice, as if to make her gratitude perfectly clear.
We were going to meet outside the school gate at 6. Thank you. I was going to get it, but I need to study for the test tomorrow.
Test? Ah, that's right, science. How are you doing with it? She brightens ever so slightly.
I've been spending more time on it than before. I think I can do okay.
Good work, then. She, too, starts smiling, and much more earnestly than I at that. than I at that. Jesus. Sometimes, like, I'm not, like, there's no weird grammar or anything like that. Like, that is a proper sentence. It's just sometimes, like, when you actually say it out loud, it doesn't give the same impact that you sort of wish it had, in a sense. I have full confidence that I can do fine in it without any extra studying, but the fact that she's putting in an effort instead of just reading in the library is heartening. I'll grab your stuff and take it to your dorm in the evening. See ya. With a small wave, we part ways. I'll go do my homework before meeting Lily. I should be able to take care of it in time. Wrangling with a particular complicated math problem has caused me to be a little bit late for my meeting with Lily. Only a couple of minutes, but enough to make me step smartly out into the courtyard and to the school gate. I make a right to turn and start my way towards the small town below, leaving a few students turning the other way to the bus station. I slip my right hand into my pocket as I walk in the orange sunlight of dusk. Thankfully, the sweltering summer heat started to die down, making way for a pleasant, cool breeze. When I stretch my hands high above my head, a familiar figure takes form, cane in her right hand. Ah, Lily! She stops and turns around, swirling her head slightly to try and work out exactly where the voice came from. Hey, it's me. Good job, Hisao. Good way to alert her of exactly who it is. Now, granted, she probably knows what your voice sounds like. You know, like, you guys could probably pick my voice out of a crowd. Or at least some of you could. If I was like, yo, gosh, now, like, I read your comments all the time, and I should know some of your names, and now I'm drawing a complete blank. I feel fucking terrible. You know, just like a random shout out, but maybe next part I'll just like randomly throw your name in. I don't know, because then I'll actually have looked it up at that point, and it's not as cool. Anyway, let's just keep going. Hey, it's me. I quickly catch up with her, coming in beside her and matching her slow pace as we resume walking.
Good afternoon, Hisao.
Hi there. I glance up at the sky. A distinct tinge of orange just colors the clouds, washing the footpath in its light. Long shadows from the trees fall across the wide road down the hill.
So, Hisao, what brings you here?
Just going to grab some groceries. Hanako sent me.
Hanako sent you?
Yeah, said she needed to study for a test tomorrow. I was going to go down anyway, so I'll buy her stuff as well. Unspoken is that Lily really could use some help to get food, but it's an obvious fact that neither of us need to state.
It's good to hear she's studying for it.
I thought the same thing when she asked me to come with you. We continue walking down the street, the familiar sounds of her cane echoing through the air as we go. Except for the occasional passing car and the leaves whispering in the branches, there's a blissful silence. Thank God I can finally relax for the first time today. I glance over at Lily. The porcelain face of hers, porcelain, good fucking job, me. The porcelain face of hers never seems to lack that air of relaxed confidence. I guess the same could be said of her personality, too. As she silently walks, her face remains pointed to the street ahead of her. I look ahead and savor the cool air blowing over my face. This is probably the calmest moment I've had since the about-face my life took so recently. To have it while walking to get some groceries, what a weird feeling. Or what a weird life. I feel the crumpled up note rubbing against my hand in my pocket, and I pull it out to check its contents. Let's see here. Eggs, bread, cereal, thyme, lettuce, shaved ham. Was shaved ham on that list? Or maybe that's for him. Yeah, I was like, wait, was there ham? I know eggs and bread were. My God, I'm fucking terrible if I can't remember something that happened 3 minutes ago. I didn't study it, thank God. Imagine if there was like an actual test to make sure that you pick the right groceries. I'd be screwed. That sounds quite a bit to carry back along with your own. Yeah, just how much does this girl eat anyway? My mind suddenly clicks that yes, there's actually is a person beside me. Wait, I mean, she laughs wholeheartedly. My, Hisao. Her giggle punctuates her words, though she makes little effort to suppress them. Quite direct today, aren't we? Yeah, you got me there. Still, it is quite a bit. Usually I go shopping with Hanako, so I know what she buys. It's the same thing every week. Huh? She's a good cook? She gives a nervous giggle. It's usually me who ends up cooking. I used to do so for Akira, so no problem doing it for Hanako as well. You can cook, but... A short hum with an amused lit emanates from beside me. I wonder if the fact that she seems amused by my comments so often is actually genuine, or rather just from a wanting to make me more comfortable in addressing her blindness. There are ways around it. Some meals are more difficult to cook than others, because of being unable to see what I'm doing, but it usually only takes a little more time. Fingers can double as very useful measurement tools, for example. It makes sense, but she'd have to be pretty careful not to hurt herself. I wonder how many times that's happened, given that it sounds like she cooked alone for possibly years while Akira worked and her parents were gone. With that, the conversation trails off. Compared to the awkward silence of Hanako, Lily seems genuinely content to say what she thinks and stay quiet when there's nothing to say. The slick road under my feet is bathed in an orange glow, the occasional fallen leaf crunching underfoot as we walk. I let out a deep yawn, my lack of sleep coming back to haunt me. Did you not get much sleep last night? I couldn't sleep at all for the last 2 nights. Probably insomnia. Lily's face suddenly becomes worried. It feels like a personal failure every time she gets worried about my well-being, even if it's genuinely nice to know someone cares. Oh, right. That's right. There's been a time skip. I've been thinking that he's still hungover from the night before. Because there isn't, like, the interesting thing about certain visual novels is they sometimes, like, show the day of the week, so we know that a certain amount of time has passed. This one doesn't have that. So we have to gain clues from the things that they say. And I do now remember that he did say that it's been about 2 days since that event. You have insomnia. Aren't you going to see the nurse about it? Nah, no real need. It happens before. It happened before a few times. My meds screw with my my sleeping occasionally.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Come on, it's not your fault. At least I shouldn't have any trouble getting to sleep tonight.
You do worry me sometimes.
I worry you? I reach around and scratch the back of my neck. I kind of want to address this. Hey, Lily. I don't mean to sound weird, but please try to forget about my heart condition. She looks kind of lost. I hardly blame her. I guess what I'm trying to get at is just don't treat me differently because of it. She bows her head slightly, her white cheeks reddening almost imperceptibly. It's only natural to worry about those around you. Well, it's still nice to know there's someone like that out there. It may be somewhat embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. Lily takes a breath to regain her composure and manages a gentle smile, though her cheeks remain flushed. The final downhill walk to the store passes in silence. Welcome! Oh, sorry. That was a saleswoman. Hey there! How's it going? What a great voice for a saleswoman. I suppose I'll get my stuff first, and then Hanako's on the second round. I grab 2 well-worn red baskets from the stack beside the entrance and pass one to Lily. Just as she did before, she lays it on the ground and slides her retracted cane between the basket handles before picking it back up with her right hand. When she takes hold of my arm in her own, I'm surprised at just how fast this kind of casual contact became so natural, mostly due to necessity, no doubt. Shall we? Sure. While we navigate around the store, the odd person occasionally passing us pays us no heed at all. It's nice compared to the stares and whispers around the city. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily what she needs and grabs it along with what I want, putting our items into their respective baskets. It's an odd feeling to be dependent on so much for something so basic as shopping. Hanako would be practically a necessity for her to pick out what she wants, after all. Right, I'm pretty much done with both my stuff and Hanako's. You need anything else, Lily?
No, this should be everything.
Off we go then. Oddly, there's a queue a mile long, considering the store is only large enough to warrant one counter. Seems like it'll take a while. Damn. Lily gives an inquisitive look, unable to see the reason for my complaint. The queue's really long. Looks like we'll have to wait. How strange. Sharing the same mood of resignation, we reluctantly take our place at the end of the line. One person finishes, the line moves up. Another person finishes, the line moves up. By the time we finally reach the head of the line, I'm so close to dozing off that Lily has to gently pat me on the back for me to move up. Hasao? Hasao? Sorry. She gives a short sigh of consternation as I move up, getting the groceries for Hanako and me put into separate bags. Thank you. Thank you! Come again! Please, come again! I gotta own the voice, right? Gotta own it. By the time we emerge from the store, Lily holds a single bag while I struggle to carry 4, both hands well and truly full. It's a lot of work, but thankfully the items in them are light. Even without looking skyward, it's obvious that a surprising amount of time's passed, the roads outside being dark and lit by street lamps. Once Lily retrieves her cane, we set out back to the dormitories the way we came, leaving the welcome, warming glow of the store. Despite the road being empty of cars, the full bags abundantly make up for the lack of noise, constantly clunking and squeaking together. My, Hasao, it's good to find that you're eating well. I'm a growing guy, after all. I need to eat all I can.
It must be nice, being a man.
What? Seemingly not noticing or ignoring my surprise at the completely out of left field comment, she continues on without missing a beat.
Weight doesn't really bother you when eating, most of the time.
I get what you mean. Women tend to worry about stuff like that more than we do, I guess.
Exactly. It makes me somewhat envious, to be honest.
Well, it's not like we can go outright ignore it. With an affirmative nod, we continue on our walk. Huh, that's right.
What is it?
Hanako mentioned your birthday was earlier this year. Do anything special for it? She gives a long pause, lost in thought for a few seconds as she recalls the events.
Not really. It was just Hanako and me having a little party during the night after school.
Your birthday's supposed to be a big event, you know. Sounds like a pretty lonely way to spend a birthday. Just her and Hanako staying overnight. Birthdays always felt like a family occasion for me. They were a time when, in spite of their full-time jobs, both my parents would make an effort to be there for the day, or at least for a party beforehand. Yeah, actually, that's the thing. It's something about my family is we sort of celebrate our birthdays like together a lot of the time. Like I have like one sort of get together with my friends, and then I have one get together with my family. In a sense, it's just sort of an excuse to get us all together. We always find. It reminds me of how Lily mentioned she hasn't seen her family in such a long time, and even ended up moving away from Akira's house afterwards. But I guess it's the same in situations as mundane as these. Considering her inability to read the packaging, just getting groceries would be a pain without somebody else around. In the end, she just has Hanako and me, and Akira when she's off from work. But I think this is a good time to stop just before we head back to the dorms, just before we finish this walk. So take care, guys. Stay frosty, and I'll see you tomorrow.